In the 1950s, Jack Churchill regularly shocked fellow passengers on a London commuter train by throwing his briefcase out of the window. He'd then get off at the next station. Why did he do this? In the 1950s, Jack Churchill regularly shocked fellow passengers on a London commuter train by throwing his briefcase out of the window. He'd then get off at the next station. Why did he do this?
I love this question, and I've used it for a completely different series a few years ago that wasn't lateral, so I'm going to sit back. Anna, Bill, this one's up to you.
He just hated briefcases. They kept giving him new ones every day. He was like, I don't want these things. Get them out of here.
Well, it was the same briefcase every day.
Cool.
Okay, so same briefcase every day. So that means that when he got off, he went back to get the briefcase.
Or do you reckon he had to go back to get it? Or was there something set up there that could make the briefcase continue on to the next station?
As if it was on a rope just out of view of the window.
He threw it out, and he just invented very nice fishing wire. So everyone's like, whoa, the briefcase is gone. He's like, rubes, it's just on a wire. Got him again, Jack. Yeah.
But then why would someone do that? Just for jokes?
You know Jack Churchill, he's a character.
He's only got one joke. He does it every day.
Having done a whole episode of a different show on Jack Churchill, he was very definitely a character.
Okay.
Is there some expectation that as a human being I should know who Jack Churchill is?
No, he's not a well-known figure, but he was certainly a character.
Good, because I don't.
Me neither.
But you should know who he is. Your life is less for not knowing who he is.
So I'm let's do a scene. Let's paint the picture. Mm-hmm. I'm a London commuter and you're Jack Churchill and we're on a train.
Okay, great.
And I say, what's that man doing with that briefcase?
Throws briefcase out of the train.
I'm so shocked.
And then I feel like everyone would talk to each other and be like, why did that guy just throw his briefcase out of the train? Yeah.
And then Jack says,
don't worry, everybody. I'll go and get it.
And he jumps out of the window, falls to his death. A new Jack Churchill arrives. He says, I'm getting off at the next station. And it's like a prestige bit. There's so many of them.
And then he walks back in through the door and everyone's shocked and they raucously applaud.
That's the man with the briefcase. Oh my God, we saw him jump to his death and now he's arrived at the briefcase. A masterpiece. Everybody give him £10. £10 each. And that's how he made his money. Are we close?
I guess back then they didn't have like podcasts, right? So what would you do on a commuter train?
Yeah, the only entertainment was watching men throw briefcases out the window. It was all they could do back then.
Exactly.
It was post-war. There wasn't much going on.
There was literally nothing, not even podcasts.
Nothing happened until Vietnam. They just had to wait. Okay, so
make their own entertainment.
So he throws a briefcase out a window. We're back to square one. We've had the question read to us. Yes. What do you achieve? So he's like, look at this, and then presumably he gets the briefcase back. He throws. Does he like? Could he know the timing of the trains really well? So he throws it out one window into another train that's also going to the same station, and he just knows it. It's the same. Just look at this, everybody! Whoa! And then it lands to the next train. He gets off, crosses to the other side of the platform, gets his suitcase, walks away. Briefcase, not a suitcase. He's not traveling.
I think there's definitely something in there, in the commuters, in the doing it every day and at the same time every day. I wonder whether there was some kind of reward for finding lost property or for like stuff being on the track and getting it off the track. Maybe he was trying to...
Do you think he's profiting or do you think it's just a bit? Do you think he's just having fun?
I mean, that could be our answer. Was it just a comedy bit?
Yeah, he was just doing a bit. Hey, I'm doing a bit.
No, he was definitely benefiting from the results of this endeavour.
Okay, so he's getting... So there's a practical reason. He's a pragmatist, Jack.
Okay.
He wasn't getting money. It was just practical purpose for this little stunt.
Oh, do you reckon? Okay, I'm Jack Churchill, and I work in an office. And I work in an office, and I know my office is this an elevated rail? Is it the underground? Or is it like an above ground rail that we're talking about?
Like, it's a 1950s British commuter train, really slow. Yeah.
Because what if the train goes past your office and then you get off on the station, you walk back the way the train came. You don't want to lug your briefcase back to the office. You go, that's my window. I'll leave my window open. The train goes past. Whoochoo, it's in the office. I get off, turn around, walk back to the office. Briefcase is already there. If I was Jack Churchill, that's what I'd do.
You're very close.
I'm very close. How can I be close and not right?
Was it his house, not his office?
Oh, he's going home.
Bingo.
He lives by the tracks. There's a hole in his roof.
Yes. He knew the exact point to throw the briefcase out so that it would land in his garden, and then that meant he didn't have to carry it. From the station. And frankly, if you know anything about Jack Churchill, you'd think he was not someone that shied away from work, like from bold endeavors, let's say.
If I remember rightly, he's the Scotsman with the claymore or the bagpipes who ran into war with the bagpipes.
That guy? I know that guy.
Yes. Technically, he's not actually Scottish, but he did play the bagpipes at 3 a.m., run around with a bow and arrow and a broadsword during World War II, and therefore he can be a Scotsman. Like, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I think that technically is what makes you a Scottish person.
Yeah. But he also, after the war, he went to Australia for a while and was a military advisor there. Came back, and he was the first person to surf a tidal bore. So he surfed up the Severn for like a mile. So not only he was this insane soldier commando dude that did everything. He also invented surfing on tidal. Yeah,
and weirdly, halfway up the Severn, he just threw his suitcase off the bank and then thought, I'll come back for this later.